Hey, good morning. How are you today? It's a chilly one. Good morning. Welcome to another Moose Sesh. Brr. Oh my goodness, I can't believe. Well, I can. I was at a baseball game last night and I literally lived through the drop in temperature in real time. It was so cold. Oh my goodness. It was very cold last night. And I thought, you know what? Tomorrow morning is going to be even colder. We have 2 baseball games to go to today. I'm trying to think, do I need to break my snow pants out? I mean, I know it's not like that cold, but when you're just sitting outside and the particular baseball diamond, I think I was maybe chatting about this yesterday. There's this one baseball diamond, it was 24 degrees last week one day. And I watched Grayson play baseball at that diamond and it was like a polar vortex. It was not 24 degrees. You would leave the diamond and it was so warm and hot. And then you go to that diamond and it's down near the lake and it just kind of collects the wind and oh my gosh, it's so cold. He's playing there tonight. It's going to be freezing. It's going to be so cold. Oh my goodness. Anyways, welcome to another Moose Sesh. How are you today? As we get going, remember to go at your own pace. Remember to take the warm-up at your own pace, but also the entire workout. Modify anything that you need to. So one of the easiest ways to modify any of the movements I'm doing is to take out any jumping or hopping. So right now we're doing low, no impact as we just kind of ease into the warm-up. And if this is the right pace for you right now, keep it at low, no impact. And you can progress to higher, impact or adding the hops later when you're ready. But the goal always is to get you to the point where you're getting to the end of the workout, because I always welcome you to join me in the very beginning just for the warm-up. The warm-up is about 10 minutes. It's going to kind of move your entire body, bring mobility to your entire body, get your blood flowing, get your heart rate up. And that's the point of the warm-up, but sometimes that might be enough for you right now, whether it's mentally or physically or both. But the goal is to get you to show up tomorrow. I'm always, wanting to coach you today to come back tomorrow, not just put in the work today and then be too sore or be too defeated or be too, scared to come back tomorrow. So, I actually, I'm reading this book and I've shared this on social media called The Selfish Hour by my friend Megan Weisheipel. And that term has stuck in my head now. This is my selfish hour. My selfish hour is, I have so much going on right now. I don't even know which way's up. And, an easy thing to do would be to sacrifice this time, right? Say, you know what, I don't have time right now, but I refuse to. That's when I cling to my selfish time the most, is when I'm the busiest, because, what I've learned is, I learned this the hard way by doing the opposite of that, by giving up all of my time to do all of the things. It's kind of like the concept in financial health or financial literacy to pay yourself first, right? Most people don't do that. Most people pay their bills first, and if they have money left over, then they perhaps invest or shop, right, for stuff that they want. Most people don't pay themselves first, and the first rule of financial literacy is always pay yourself first, because anyways, I won't get into that because I'm not a financial expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been studying it a little bit lately. And that's the reality, is you're supposed to pay yourself first. Well, I think in life, you need to do the same thing with your time. You need to pay yourself first in the form of time, right? So first thing in the morning, you need to pay yourself with a small time. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. It can be 10 minutes in the morning, you can get up 10 minutes early, and you can take that 10 minutes and you can do whatever you need to do for you, whether that's maybe a short yoga session, maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's reading a personal development book, maybe it's like something that's investing in you. So on that note, oh my gosh, I'm coming up with this great analogy right now. Go me. Let's compare it again to financial literacy and financial health. So they say pay yourself first. Well, what they mean by pay yourself first is invest. They don't mean spend. Okay, so on that kind of note, if you take your income and you pay yourself first, so you take $100 every month, and that $100 goes into some kind of investment or asset that's going to pay you, right? It doesn't go into consumer habit, right? So it's not give yourself $100 to go buy a new pair of Lululemon pants, which I'm obsessed with Lululemon tights right now and shorts, and I want them in every color. And so I'm giving myself a bit of a diet from Lululemon or clothing. You know, I think part of it, Heather, you'll like this, because she said this to me recently. Oh, that is so fun, shopping for clothes. Well, all of a sudden, yes, it is, because I've lost, all this weight, so none of my clothes fit. And, I'm kind of liking the way some of the stuff looks on me right now, or is fitting me, and I'm wanting to buy stuff all the time. And that is not good financial literacy or financial health. It's not necessary, but anywho. So back to the analogy. So the analogy is with your time, the goal is not to get up 10 minutes early, and the financially healthy thing to do is to invest, right? So when you think about the time aspect of it, you want to invest that time into something that's going to pay you back, right? And compound what you're investing is going to compound in a good way, not a bad way, right? So for example, when you take the money that you invest in yourself, or for yourself, that you're investing it into an asset or an investment that's potentially going to make you money on that money, right? That's the goal. The goal is not to spend that money where that money is now a liability or it's costing you, right? So now if you think about where I'm going with this analogy, I cannot lift my knees. You can see in the video that they're not coming up very high. This is all I got right now. The legs are heavy today. Anyway, so investing your time, you get up in the morning 10 minutes early, you want to invest it in something that's going to pay you. What's going to pay you? Pay you in energy, pay you in your mindset health, your mental health, your confidence, right? It's going to pay you back so that that 10 minutes is going to compound in its returns, right? And alternatively, you take that 10 minutes and spend an extra 10 minutes scrolling on social media. No, that's going to cost you. This is going to cost you your mental health. It's going to cost you your attitude and your demeanor, your oh my God, your mood. It's going to cost you. Oh, I just connected to something. I don't know what I said. So, what's my point? My point is, I don't know, I don't remember what my point was, but the bottom line is, the selfish hour, my selfish hour. So I've learned that in the times when we feel intuitively that we need to set aside that money, right? So think about when you're not bringing in enough money, right? When you don't have, this is what 95% or more of us do. Well, I don't have extra money to invest in myself. I'll invest in myself, or I'll pay myself when I have the extra income. So I got to go make more money so I have enough money to pay myself first. It doesn't work that way. if you don't pay yourself first, you will never be in a position to pay yourself first. Now, conversely, because my analogy is just so bang on today, if you don't carve out that time, you don't have the energy, you don't have the faculties, if you will, the resources, if you will, to put into all of the demands that life's throwing at you right now. So when you least think you are able to do it is when you need to do it the most, and carve out your selfish hour. And your selfish hour should be spent doing something that is going to pay you back, right? Do you guys get what I'm saying here? So when you least have access to time, this is when you're gonna not put time into yourself. What I'm saying is that's the time when you need to do it the most. Okay, so we are going to start with, let me just fix my timer. Having said that, this morning I slept in. And I did nothing. I did no core, I did no stretching. I had about 10 or 15 minutes and I spent it scrolling, like doing nothing of any, benefit. I'm having a real hard time. Wait till I tell you guys what I said last night at the baseball game to one of the dads. All right. Like, my mind is so full. Right now, I cannot think straight. So grab 2 weights. I feel like I want to use my plates today. You can grab dumbbells, you can grab kettlebells, you can grab whatever you got. And bend over, we're going to do rows, but not until the buzzer goes. Okay, so we're going to pull. So one of the dads, I haven't met him before. He introduced himself to me last night. He said, "Oh, hi, by the way, I'm Will's dad." I said, "Nice to meet you. I'm Grayson's dad." And I said, "Jocelyn," because I'm like, why are we introducing ourselves by the name of, Anyway, so he kind of chuckled, and I thought he was chuckling at that, like the fact that we're calling ourselves our son's parent. It took me 5 minutes before I realized I just introduced myself as Grayson's dad. I'm not Grayson's dad, I'm Grayson's mom. Okay, we're doing presses. Anyway, I was super embarrassed. My dad was sitting beside me. He didn't actually point it out. I'm sure I was thinking, oh my goodness, she's lost her marbles. I did feel a little bit like I'd lost my mind last night because, life has gotten really busy and I don't know which end is which. And I do feel like I'm losing my mind a little bit. Basically, last night I was supposed to be in 4 different places. One kid needed to get to work. One kid had a baseball game. Another kid had a baseball game out of town. And then I have my trail group. So, clearly I can't be in 4 places at one time. And so I was racking my brain, how am I gonna do this? Like something's obviously gotta give, so what's gotta give today? Okay, I'm surprisingly warm. Here we go, first. Okay, we're going back to those presses. Anyways, I was very happy yesterday when Chris got up. He's on evenings right now, so he works from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. So he gets home around 3. And I thought, I'm just gonna wait and ask him what he thinks I should do. And which I thought was kind of weird because, that's not how I roll. I do what I want. Let's be honest here. I don't mean that in an obnoxious way. What's he gonna tell me that I don't already know? But funny, he must have had a sixth sense going on because he got up and informed me that he was off for the next 2 days prior to his 7 days off. So he was home yesterday and I didn't expect him to be. Oh. And so everything worked out a little bit better. My dad was here too, so. And a big shout out to Heather because she had my back for my run group. Whoops, wrong exercise. We are doing those today, but not yet. Whew. Anyway, when you can't remember which parent you are, you know you're going a little bit crazy. You're wearing too many hats when you can't remember which role you play in the family. Oh, goodness. I'm sure the guy thinks, well, you know, every team has a couple of drunkard parents. And if I was still consuming wine, I would totally feel so embarrassed thinking, oh my God, wine is killing my brain cells. But wanted to say to him, I promise I'm drinking Earl Grey tea in my Yeti. Probably thought I was drinking. I mean, yeah, anyway, whatever. What can you do? What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say that I'm approaching 6 months, no alcohol. That occurred to me the other day. I'm counting from January 8th now because really, as the, oh my God, there I go again. The TikTok crowd likes to remind you, the TikTok crowd, like the TikTok critics like to keep you humble. Said you didn't quit January 1st, you quit January 8th. All right. So as of, I guess, I had wine on January 8th. So I guess as of June 9th, it'll be 6 months. I mean, we're just we're gonna go with it. All right. Resting. Whew. How is everybody today? Somehow, amidst all the chaos in life, I'm still managing to stumble along and do 75 hard. I'm not out yet. I'm not 100% sure if I drank all my water yesterday because, I mean, if you don't know if you're the mom or the dad, you could understand that I couldn't remember if I had drank 3 bottles or 2 bottles, but we're just gonna say I drank the 2 bottles and call it a day, or the 3 bottles. Because if you don't know, you might as well go with the positive, right? Anyway, it's gonna be a long summer is all I can say at this rate. All right, so we're gonna actually do these this time since clearly like I wanna do them because I kept trying to do them in the last set. And then we're gonna do single rows. And then I have some really fun core stuff to do today that's going to also work the upper body. So, and this is one of them actually, but we're going to do it as a core exercise. So nice circle. So you want to keep it nice and tight around. So you'll notice that I'm swiveling my arms. I'm not moving my head or my torso, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, now we're going to get to the right arm. You can do this without the step if you want. So we're going to pull and kind of pause at the top. Making sure that spine is elongated and in a, you want to make sure you're not curved, so you want to kind of stick that butt out. By sticking that butt out, you lock your spine. This is what I did not do the other day when I was doing deadlifts, and then paid the price for it with a bit of a sore back. It's good now. It's much better today. I can't even figure out what day it is. Like, it's Wednesday, but like yesterday I kept thinking, like Monday I kept thinking it was Tuesday. So yesterday I keep thinking it's Wednesday. And today I feel like I don't even know what day it is. I think I told someone yesterday have a good weekend. Like, it's not weekend yet. Like, it's Tuesday. I swear I'm not drinking. Like you think I was. Anyway. So trying to kind of really focus on, at the top of the movement, engaging that lat or that shoulder blade, so that you've got a little kind of pause at the top. I can feel when that edge comes. And if you're lifting heavy, like if you're going with a heavier weight, now you can go with a super light weight while you're learning the movement, which I'd always recommend. Less is always more. I always tell my clients, you're better to be undertrained than overtrained. You're better to be 10% undertrained than 1% overtrained. Because when you're overtrained, when you're kind of past your own edge, so to speak, you're not going to be moving forward anymore. You're basically going to be hanging on. So it's like you walked out onto a tightrope and you're hoping not to fall off, right? You're better to stay on the path beside, you know, the escarpment than you are to like walk out on the tightrope. Like, things, your odds are not good. Your odds are not good of something bad not happening, right? So I always recommend slow down to speed up, because then you know you're moving forward. Because even if you're moving forward one little baby step at a time, as long as you're moving forward, you're getting closer to where you want to be. But when you get into that place where you're sacrificing form, you know, or, you know, you're past the edge of where things, you're thriving, right? There's almost like, I picture if you have like a scale, right? I picture there to be, you know, this middle part on the scale, which is your ideal, right? Ideal place to be where you can thrive. On the lower end, you're, you know, the lower and the higher end, you're not in a good place for two separate reasons. One, because maybe you're, you know, you're not making the right choices. You're polluting your body with toxic foods, right? Like all the stuff that we know that's not good, right? But on the other end of the scale, there's the middle, that's the ideal. On the other end of the scale is like you're doing too much. There's too much of a good thing, right? So in the middle is the optimal amount of the good stuff, and you would rather be on the lower end of that scale than kind of on the other end of the upper end. That probably made no sense. I can see it in my mind, but because when you're in that place, it's like one wrong move and you're injured. And then if you're injured, you're now in a place where you're like managing a weakness versus just building strength, if that makes any sense at all to you. All right, so we're gonna go to the mat. I had a mat around here. It is. It's like I had one around here somewhere. And we're gonna do a couple new exercises. I posted these on Instagram the other day. Move this right out of the way. I'm totally underestimating how long my legs are, but not as long as what I just felt the need to do. Okay. What I need is a hot tub. That is what I need. I really think I do. Okay, so you can use the plates like what I'm using, or you can use, oh, the floor's cold. Or you can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell. Okay, so the first one, we're gonna bring it up and then a tricep extension. Okay, so up, tricep extension. Up, tricep extension. Up, tricep extension. Is that making sense? Okay, and then the next one we're gonna do, we're gonna hold it, okay, and we're gonna drop the legs down and up. Let's add a press. Press, down and up. Press, down and up. You might need to go heavier on this one. Maybe not. Definitely feeling it in the core. And I'm so hot right now. Maybe I'm having a hot flash, I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna go up, tricep extension, up, tricep extension. I feel like I'm doing these wrong. Tricep extension. There we go. So you can rest your legs in between. Are you feeling your triceps? I'm just starting to. So that's set 2 of 4. So probably we're going to be feeling those by the end of this set. Okay, so press, legs down. Press, legs down. This is making up for the core that I didn't do this morning. I did get, I think I got 300 in after my run. I'm not counting them, so I don't know how many reps I'm accumulating, but keep thinking I'm gonna smash my shins. Anyway, so back to my friend's book, The Selfish Hour. I think I was talking about it yesterday. Okay, Darcy, I'm going to officially put that on the list of books that I would recommend every woman read. It's funny because those of you who know me, I just kind of popped it on that last one. Those of you who know me well, this is not something that I talk about a lot, so you may not kind of know this side of me. I struggled for years with the idea that I was not, I dropped out of college. I dropped out of university after year 1. I flunked out of year 1, and then I dropped out because, there was no point. I was not remotely focused on university. All I wanted to do was go to the bar. But the disconnect with all of that is that in high school, or all my life, I had thrived academically and been told by my parents that I was smart, right? So in my mind, I was an academic and I was meant to be successful because I was smart, right? I had always been successful in school, that is. Let's do one more choice. There we go. And when it mattered most, I overwhelmingly underachieved, right? And I had spent my whole life overachieving, right? Always straight A's, always top of my class, excelled in math, And then when real life started, I failed. And I carried that with me since like 95. I went into, I quit college. I got a job as a waitress. And I gotta do some yoga after this. I got a job at the Olive Garden actually, and got my own place, and that was my life. And I carried this sense of failure with me for years because, it's all fine when you're 20, 21, 22. But all of a sudden you realize, like, I got no direction in life. I got no purpose. All I do is go to work, waitress, go out for drinks with friends, and do the same thing the next day. Like, I was going nowhere. I was doing nothing. I often say, I've said this to my kids, like, I don't know why Daddy, like, wanted to date me, because I had, like, literally nothing going for me. All right, okay, so you're on your knees. Okay, so you're gonna go up and around and down. Up and around and down. I like this one, although this is really awkward to hold. So you want to use your core, nice big circle, and back down. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do, so we're gonna do chopping overhead. Okay, so what I want you to think about is using momentum. I always used to say to people in my classes when I taught these, pretend you're throwing garbage over your head. So if you don't throw it with any momentum, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna drop garbage all down your back, right? So you wanna think of throwing the garbage so that it's going way behind you. Okay, so we gotta remember to go over the other shoulder on the next side, like after this next one, because the next one we do the circles again. Okay, so up, around, and down. Anyway, I carried that failure. All I ever wanted in my 20s was a real job. I felt like success was being in corporate, was having some kind of corporate office job. That's what successful people do. And I couldn't do that because I had no degree. There's no way. What I did always have tremendous pride in during those years was my work ethic. You couldn't, so we're tossing over this side. Couldn't remember there for a second. I couldn't, I don't know what I was gonna say. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is the book by Megan is the opposite. She kind of, she did terrible in school. She considered herself stupid, but somehow she ended up in the insurance industry, climbing her way to the top of the corporate ladder, having the six-figure salary. Well, she never said that, but I'm just picturing, she had the fancy sports car, she had the fancy apartment downtown, and she was miserable. And I had the opposite life, wanting that life, and for years felt like I was a failure because I would never have that life. And in her book, she's describing, the kind of all the woes of the person who climbed up the corporate ladder. So it's like, it's a great example that, like, no matter where you are, it's the stories that you carry within you that really causes you to feel successful or not successful. It's not what you do, it's how you feel about yourself, and that comes from within. And what we do is we attach our worth to kind of what we do, right? And that's not the case. And, you know, I'm only learning this at, you know, my age now. But because for years I felt just like a total failure. Anyway, so her story is similar, so I relate to it in so many ways, even though our stories are like totally opposite, but the kind of the result is the same. Okay, last set of these. Anyway, but then what she talks about is when she discovered, you know, the power of that selfish hour, and that's how she kind of worked through all that. And so my point is, I mean, there's so many takeaways and light bulb moments on so many levels on this book. If nothing else, just the sheer fact that we need to take the time to have selfish hours, have selfish time, because that's when we figure ourselves out, we understand ourselves. And when you understand yourself, or the more you understand yourself, the more you can actually give to others, which is why you're not taking the selfish hour in the first place. You're not taking the selfish hour because you feel like you have to give your time to everybody else. But by taking that selfish hour, you're going to have more quality to give to everybody else during less time, right? So you have less time to give everyone else, but you're going to have better energy. Because you're taking that time to develop yourself. And it's the same with, you know, food and money, right? You have to keep some to get more. You got to keep some to get more. So I was kind of thinking about the fact that she called it the selfish hour. Okay, so we're going to do, I know what we're going to do. I'm trying to think of the second one. Yes, I know what we're going to do. Okay. I am going to need my kettlebell for this next one. I'm going to try and bring both of these over. Okay. So we're back on our backs for this next one. How are you guys liking all this core stuff today? I need a massage. My legs are, oh, they're tight. Okay. Okay, so you're bringing your weight. If you're using a weight, you're going to bring it back. You don't need to use a weight. You can do this without a weight too. I can feel my spine going crack, crack, crack. The further back you hold it, the harder it is. A long 30 seconds. Okay, the next one, let's start with the lightweight. We're holding this up. We're not going to hold it that way because that is too hard. Okay, and then this leg's going up and down. Okay, this is going to, like, these exercises are not the kind that you do where you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't say that because this is the first time I've done this one. My core is burning, but these are working the real functional core muscles. So your core has to stabilize. Now, an easier option would be to drop that leg, okay? So if you need an alternative option, that is the option. Okay, so option one is like this. Well, option one is like this with no weight. Option two is bring the weight back. And you can play around with exactly where you hold that weight. The lower you hold it, the harder it is. This is one of my favorite new exercises. It's hard. I just feel like it's so effective. I don't know. Okay. other side now. My back sounds like the Rice Krispie bowl, Rice Krispies. It's like just like crack, 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 crack. So try to keep your elbows sort of in together, because then you're kind of targeting the triceps. This is kind of a slow, controlled movement. Pressing that lower back into the floor. It doesn't hurt, but goodness, it feels and it sounds really weird. All the crackling. Okay, so back to the first hand. So pressing that weight up, laser up, and then lifting. Flex the feet. I will say I slept amazing last night, so much so that my alarm went off this morning and I hit snooze, intending to you know, just lay for like a minute, and then I usually get up. I fell right back asleep and into a dream. I need my 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you guys. So I've been getting like 6.5, and I'm like, oh no, I need like 7.5 tends to be perfect. It's only an hour, but I'm just telling you. These are working me today. I think that's it. I'm going to do yoga. It's all the sitting too, the baseball diamonds. I gotta start just walking laps at the baseball diamond. Thanks for joining me today. See you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome afternoon. Stay warm.